did Bangladesh change from becoming an agricultural-based economy to a market-based economy now?
Actually, the government still has agriculture is one of the thrust sectors in the economy, and we haven't really, we've changed, we've evolved, but our focus on agriculture still remains, because there is huge support from the central bank to the new entrepreneurs in agriculture, and the government is encouraging all of us to invest in agriculture. So I don't think we've sort of evolved into different directions, but agriculture still happens to be one of our core focuses. And as far as industrialization is concerned, we haven't had much diversity in products. It's been only garments. It's risky, and it's over dependence on garments. The other sectors really haven't grown all that much. As far as service sector is concerned, I don't think we have done very well in that field. Would you agree with me, Mr. Haq? Because as far as
otherwise I have to go back home.
No, because I don't think banking and other services have taken off to that extent.
What I think, if you see Bangladesh economy, it has changed over the year. I mean, I wouldn't find that over last 40 years the GDP growth came down below 5%. No.
It's not only GDP.
No, let me say that. I mean, one industry has changed. The purchasing power, a guy that we took by 6,000 taka 40 years back, he earns today 300,000, not educated, or 250,000, a technician. I mean, garments technician. So this one industry, coming from 31 million export in 1982, today having 22 billion, and have created basic economic infrastructure at the back. Banking, your shipping, your port, your spinning, other backward linkages. So the whole economy has concentrated.
It's interdependent.
Yeah, interdependent. And now then service sector has grown. Telephone, hospitals,
and you
education,
also have the human resources to really back it up, because
Bangladesh is really known all over the world for two major things. One is a blue cap, which is our UN force, is the second largest in the world after India possibly, and the other is garments, and the third today is coming up is your foreign remittance by the non-resident Bangladeshis. Today the foreign currency, I mean the reserve bank, remittance reserve is the highest, $14.7 billion, and the wage earners are one of the largest, I mean, contributor.
The remittance is 14.12.
Yeah, so the remittance is one of the economic activity, though it is indirect, which has grown this economy big also. But there are struggles in other industries. There are a lot of imports. We almost import 21 billion. Now this year the import is going down for many other things. I think it's a good economy.
And also Bangladesh has a huge population. Do you think that literacy and education could really help Bangladesh take the next step? Because it is the fastest growing, one of the fastest growing economies in the world.
Not only one of the fastest growing economy, we're also doing very good with the MDG targets.
Yeah.
And so MDG, one of the targets is education. Our literacy level is still very challenged. It's nowhere near yours. It is, if you say whether there is government support in developing or investing in literacy, I would say yes, because our primary education is completely free. So government does support literacy, and at the same time I think it's women. That is, I mean, I think women's rights is also a major focus for the current government, because we have around 50 members of parliament currently who are women, and the Prime Minister has promised that if she is re-elected, the number would probably grow to 100. So that says quite a lot. A prime minister, foreign minister, major ministries are controlled by women.
And
so.
also the women participation in the labor force
Yes,
is
85%
very high in Bangladesh.
85%.
And also when it comes to rural poverty in Bangladesh, I visited some of the villages in Bangladesh where they do a lot of cottage industries, and most of the funding that is done through women, because the funding organizations say that it is more reliable to give women the sort of loans to start up cottage industries, so which means that Bangladesh shows a lot of importance
better
to
borrowers.
Women. Yes.
Yeah,
You know, in 2007, Bangladesh poverty percentage was 41. In 7 years, 2005, in 7 years, today is 31.5%, which means that, well, there are inequality between the regions.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. But I think on the poverty level, Bangladesh is going very fast down. You see, the primary education, or in the education, government took so many good steps, especially balancing the women and the men education. It was somewhere 70-30. Today it is almost 48-52 between men and women. If you see the
primary
primary education.
Primary enrollment is good, but dropout is also
It's also good. Okay, you do grow like this. If you say the women empowerment, I think this is the garments industry, which you can call that it has bring a revolution in the empowerment of the women. And you can see when I take her permission to start with, and more, our prime minister is woman, our opposition leader is woman, our chief of house is woman, our 5 ministers, including home and
foreign ministry
is woman. So you can see woman is everywhere, and you can easily see it here too. I have to take a permission too.
What are the lessons that developing countries such as Sri Lanka could learn from Bangladesh? You said Bangladesh economy is growing, but there are several hiccups. What are the lessons that developing countries can learn from Bangladesh?
Practice of democracy. I think we are a shining example of sustaining this democratic process. I think our people have reacted to a lot of undesired interventions from different sectors, especially military. So I think it's the practice of democracy that Sri Lanka could benefit from. I'm not saying you're not democratic, of course you are, but I think we are a good example of that. I think the focus on MDG, there are lots of lessons to be learned from Bangladesh. I think it's the stress on our language which has given us the height and the boost. I think that sort of also speaks for us and our character. And there's so many things we could learn from you as well. So
I don't know about Sri Lanka so much in macroeconomy at least, but I could see the Sri Lankan GDP is not as strong as it should have been. But for Bangladesh, I'm sure it is one word. Resilience, is that the right word?
resilience is also stands for Sri Lanka, because look at what they have done after post-tsunami. So, you know.
Okay, resilience, because
resilience.
Democracy is by far the best means, but we have seen also that it brings in our third world country a lot of strikes, hartals. This is common. But growing with one industry, we have seen whatever is the obstacle, we have crossed it. A customer finally knows that there will be delivery and there will be good delivery. So that's how we are being today known to the world. So it's people, and working people, new generation, new entrepreneurs that has come up. That's the main force of Bangladesh.
The final question. Your careers are so busy. It takes a lot of your time. You know, you're in the media industry. Now you have your own family business.
We are not so much in the media industry
anymore.
She was. I am just a sort of host, and due to my trade
yes, but you do
relations, I have to be almost
a family business that focuses on garment, on power generation, IT services, real estate. How do you manage to, you know, create that work-life balance?
Yeah, one word from me: she balances, and I only follow her. That's all. balance she has to say.
I think
She's the
one
boss,
ought
Home
to-
Minister, Finance Minister,
I think
Prime Minister.
one ought to compartmentalize the responsibilities that we have. I think we have multiple roles to cater to and to subscribe to, so we just need to focus and sort of distance ourselves and look at it from a top-down approach and sort of organize our little compartments and just move on with life. Like we are holidaying right now. There's nothing on our minds, and I'm glad that we are taking a break.
And my son and daughter, they think I'm the most useless person, so I should go for retirement. And I
Jokes
have to
aside.
take every permission, even whether should I button this or not button this.
Papa.
But life is very nice, actually. We have a good family. We make a lot of jokes. We enjoy.
Life is good. We
Our
couldn't
children
complain.
are
couldn't
nice, well
complain.
educated. That's all. And before we go, we thank your
Thank you.
media, especially Kili, and I can see all the crews everywhere, and it's such a nice place.
You have a lovely station.
I really,
We really want to
haven't
thank you.
thought that in Sri Lanka there is such nice studios, beautiful establishment. It's a kingdom. Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you very much for joining us, Mr. and Mrs. Haq. Hope you enjoy the rest of your holiday and all the very
Certainly.
best in your careers.
Thank you very much.
you.